Hey guys, Paul here with Patek. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take any old garden variety beauty dish and turn it into a Mola style beauty dish. So if you're like me, you're a photographer, you've been lusting after a Mola Beauty Dish, I think I can show you how to save a ton of money. Because right now a Mola Beauty Dish is 369 bucks US for a piece of pressed tin and aluminum diffuser. And I started taking a hard look at it, and this is what I come up with. Let's get into it. This is a homemade 18-inch beauty dish. I've had this for years. This is just a salad bowl you can get at any dollar store. I don't know what the metal is, you know, some kind of steel that's been pressed out. And all I did was take a Bowen's S-ring, speed ring, and screw it to the back. And then to make my center deflector, I just used an old CD case like this with a piece of white vellum on the front. And this just simply pops into place like this. And this thing works really well. You'll be surprised. I'll show you some images. But so the main difference between a beauty dish and a softbox is that the beauty dish has the hole in the center like the softbox, but the beauty dish has the reflector covering the hole so that the light hits the reflector, goes out, and you get a nice even display of light across the circumference of the beauty dish. And that's basically it. So it's just that reflector piece. And once you understand that, so, you know, I started thinking, well, what's so special about the Mola? I mean, you've got the undulations, which give you a little bit of diffusion, but I doubt that if I took a picture with a Mola Beauty Dish and maybe my 27-inch Photox Luna, a lot of people wouldn't even tell the difference. So basically it's those undulations that feather the light a little bit and aluminum diffuser in the center. So now let's take a look at how you can make one. I'll show you how you can take any beauty dish and turn it into a Mola Demi style beauty dish. So for this test, the beauty dish I have that I thought would make the most sense to start with is my Photox Luna 27-inch. It's 27.5 inches, 28 inches beauty dish. And so here it is. I've got the white version here. I prefer the white over the silver, but that's personal choice. And then you've got these three little feet here that the reflector disc screws onto, and that's what gives you the reflection, fills the bowl, and gives you the nice light. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, if you have a beauty dish that has a reflector disc like this, then what you can do is, with a few simple pieces, you're going to need a Dremel with some special cutting blades from Dremel, which are not expensive. And you'll be able to take an aluminum, this is called a crisping pan from Nordic Ware, and I'll put a link in the description for you. You can see the perforations. And you're going to use your Dremel, and you're going to cut out an aluminum center disc that has perforations in it. And when you do that, you will be absolutely surprised and amazed at the quality of diffusion and how you can shape the light on the face. And I'm going to show you some examples of that. So I'm going to show you three examples. One shot with the white, one shot with the aluminum diffuser, and all I did was paint this with pearl white paint. I might even actually paint this again to a flat white. Because if you compare these two here, you can see you're going to get a little bit of specular highlight. This is a touch more towards the aluminum color side than the white one. But you'll see the difference is negligible. And then, also on the Mola Demi, they have what's called an Opal glass diffuser for $100 US. And this is my Opal glass diffuser. This is a piece of vellum, folks. And all you got to do is you cut out, so my disc on the Luna is 6 inches. You cut out a 6-inch circle, you line the holes up, and now you've got yourself a Mola Demi style beauty dish, and you can achieve the same lighting effects. And you can buy vellum in 1/3 stop increments from B&H. I'm pretty sure that's what this piece is. You could cut 2 or 3 of these, double them up. You can stack them on top of each other, whatever you want to do. So now let's take a look at some results, and you can judge for yourself. So here's the first example of 2 images that were shot with the same beauty dish, the Photox Luna 27-inch beauty dish. And on the left, I was using the perforated disc that I made, and on the right, the non-perforated. And you can clearly see the difference in the specular highlights, you know, in the forehead, just under the eyes here, these areas at the sides of the mouth. And then you come over to this side and you can see that the face is, you know, the areas on the side of the face are a little bit darker. There's a little bit more sculpting going on. Apologies for all the age spots here. Normally I'd spend about 3 weeks retouching all that out, but so this clearly shows you, you know, that you can have the Mola Demi effect using that 6-inch perforated aluminum diffuser. So now let's take a look at another image, and I'll show you 3 examples, and you can take this to the next level. So this image is really interesting because you can see here's the perforated disc, which is giving you the most specular highlights, clearly visible in the forehead. But then when you go to the perforated disc and you add 1 layer of vellum, you're still getting some specular highlights here, but look at the darkening on the side of the face, even compared to the non-perforated disc. It's comparable here, I guess. So these 2 images, center and on the extreme left, my left anyways, yeah, even the darkening is a little bit more with the vellum disc on it, which is really interesting. But, you know, the bottom line here is that for the cost of buying a $30 perforated aluminum baking dish, you can achieve some really remarkable results, and it's just completely up to you how far you want to take this. I mean, if you wanted to use the vellum and double it up, you could darken this down even more. So you're getting the same results from the Mola Demi's aluminum diffuser plus the Opal glass, and you haven't spent, you know, $500 US to do it. And that's really what this is all about. Just a quick exercise to show you that if you got a little bit of DIY skill, you can achieve some really remarkable results. So as promised, here's an image shot with my DIY 18-inch beauty dish. And as you can see, the beauty dish really does a nice job of sculpting the face. I think the positioning of this one would be a little bit high. I may have dropped it down a little bit, but in this image here, I was using a reflector, and this was just kind of a wham bam that I did to have an example for this video. But you can clearly see, I mean, the 18-inch, it really focuses the light. The fall off is a little bit more harsh than what we're getting with the 27-inch for sure. But again, you're using we're talking about a $3 beauty dish from the dollar store and a $10 speed ring, and you've got a device that you can use to take some really powerful headshots. Now, you know, that doesn't account for the sharpness in the eyes. You know, that's the Sony lens doing that magic. But overall, you've got a beauty dish that you can take some really powerful headshots with. So the next thing I thought I should cover before anybody runs out and starts butchering up one of their beauty dishes, this is the Glow 25-inch collapsible beauty dish that I own. And this is the reflector plate from it. It's very similar to the Lunix, okay, only it's a silver color, and it has a rubber O-ring in here. It would be very difficult. I mean, you could probably do it, but you would have to cut a hole in the center and have a little rubber grommet. So the idea of this is that it goes on, and then you press down the holding mechanism on the dish inside. So this plate is actually sitting on top of this inner bracket here. So I wouldn't really try it with something like this, but for using the perforated disc with a DIY or with the Lunix, where you've got, you know, free and open access to the reflector panel, go for it. You'll have great success, and you know, you'll get years of great pictures from it for sure. So here's an image of a model I shot not too long ago, and this is one of those cases where I used the 27-inch Luna with the aluminum diffuser, but I was going for a little bit more subtle refinement in the shadows, and the beauty dish wasn't positioned directly in front of the model. It was 45 degrees off and to the left. So you can see on the left side of her face here, it's a little bit lighter. The shadows are a little bit lighter here, but the perforated aluminum dish gives you a little bit of that specularity in the forehead here. And of course, this image was retouched, but and she's a lot better looking than I am. But you can see just one example of, you know, the quality of images that you can capture using a perforated aluminum disc. All right, for those of you that might be just getting started out in photography and you can't afford a Photox Luna Beauty Dish or maybe a Godox Beauty Dish, I think they're a couple of $100. They're a little bigger. Just remember, you can go to the dollar store for $3. You can get a salad bowl like this. If you've got some DIY skill, you can make the perforated aluminum, or you could do a solid aluminum. It's up to you. Paint it white, paint it silver, whatever you want to do. And all I did when I made my beauty dish was I just sanded the inside surface down so the paint would adhere to it, whether you want to use silver or white. And then you can order yourself a diffuser sock online, and they're not expensive at all. So with a few simple parts and a Dremel and a cutting edge tool, you can make your beauty dish on the cheap. And you can also do it with terracotta bowls. I had 2 of those that you can purchase from Home Depot. They're inexpensive as well, but as soon as I found this metal dish at the dollar store, that's what I've been using from then on. So my beauty dishes are my beauty dish, my homemade one, my 27-inch Luna, and then my Glow 25-inch beauty dish, and it has a silver interior with a diffuser. So you can get all kinds of variation by just having 2 or 3 simple tools. And I know that it probably sounds like I'm ranting about Mola. I don't have any connection to Mola. I don't have anything against Mola. I'm sure the product is really good. I mean, a lot of photographers rave about it. But I just have no desire to spend $800 Canadian to get a Mola Beauty Dish and a bracket to hold it and an Opal diffuser. To me, that's just a little bit excessive. So if you like the Mola Beauty Dish system, hey, more power to you. Keep using it. Everything I've shared in this video are just my humble opinions, and I'm trying to show you some results that you can get on the cheap. And so with that, I'm going to close this out. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you found this useful. And if you have questions, by all means, connect in, and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.